Hey guys, Coach Liz here with Christian and Coach Christian, sorry.
Yes.
But today he's going to be the athlete for some of our mobility yoga stretches. So we have bands here, but if you don't have a band at home, that's totally fine. You can grab a bath towel, you can grab a jump rope, just something long enough that's you'll see what we're doing with it, but come around your foot and that be that length. So it can be a towel, it can be anything long and flexible. So we're going to start with a pose that can happen in a couple different ways. So it's going to be mainly in the shoulders. As you can see here, Christian has a little bit of tight hips, so sitting cross-legged is not the most comfortable for him. If that's you, no big deal. You're going to come to your knees. Is sitting on your knees comfortable?
See.
Cool. We're not going to be here a whole long time, but find a way that you can sit nice and upright. That's preferably going to be comfortable on the legs, because we are going to grab this band, and Christian, I'm going to actually have you turn around and face the opposite way. So he is going to grab the band in his right hand and just send it straight out next to it. Cool. My band's getting a little tangled here. From there, that right hand is going to come up behind the head, and so that band is going to be down his back, where his left hand can come and grab the bottom of the band. There you go. And from here, he can kind of work his hands closer together. So he'll start to walk his fingers down. He can bend his top elbow as much as possible. And we're going to spend a little bit of time here working the bottom arm as well as the top arm. So get those hands as close together as possible. It won't be very comfortable, but it should be something you can stick with. There you go. And we're going to start with working this top shoulder. So he's going to pull with the band with his bottom hand, trying to pull this hand down his back. Yeah, and then it's going to open up that elbow. Good. If it was a towel or a strap, if you have a yoga strap, that would ideally, with no stretch, kind of be a little bit nicer so he doesn't have to work against the resistance. He's going to spend a couple seconds there, then he's going to relax that bottom hand and do the same thing with the top hand. So pulling the top hand, trying to think about nice and gently opening up the shoulder, trying to drop it down and bring this hand. I know you're shaking because it's a band, but if it is a towel, you guys see how much Christian lifts, and he still shakes on some of his movements. Good, so you'll kind of stay there for a couple more seconds. Do you feel that in the front of the shoulder here? Good. And then he's gonna relax that top arm, maybe even scoot these fists a little bit closer together. Good, see how much more? Wow, he's almost touching his hands now. After just doing a little bit of up and down. You can call that flossing if you want. In yoga, we call this cow's face pose. So go ahead and relax the hands. You can let go of the bottom hand. We're going to do it on the other side, but feel free to spend as much time on one side or the other, going back and forth between this up and down. And you'll most likely notice that one side is a little bit more open than the other. Good, so you'll start to work those hands together. Yeah, there he goes. And we're going to start with pulling with, what did we do on the other side? Start with either one first, but you're going to start pulling that elbow up. Good. Trying to bring this fist down the middle of the back. Nice. Should start to feel that in the lat, the armpit, on that top arm. Couple seconds there, and then he's going to relax and start to pull with the top hand. This one's usually the more tougher of the two, trying to pull the shoulder nice and open, getting that arm tucked on the back right under the shoulder blade like he has. Good. You can always do this standing, you can always do this with one leg crossed over the other. for a little bit more of a deeper hip stretch here. Let him hang out there for a couple more seconds, trying to relax the tension that shoulder is going to give him, because it doesn't want to be stretched there. So he's got to really focus on relaxing that. And now go ahead and stop pulling with the top arm, but try to work those hands a little bit closer together. Hold that stretch there for a little bit longer. And by now, his legs are probably cut off on the blood flow. We're going to open up those in a moment. How are your knees feeling?
It's the top of my ankles.
Top to your ankles, yes. So in the ankle stretch here too. Nice, good. Working that mobility in the shoulders there. So go ahead and relax from there. You can let go of the strap. You can lean forward and kind of kick out the feet here. If you need to stretch the ankles the opposite way, that's totally fine. And we are going to come down onto our backs next. So we're going to get a little hamstring stretch, still using the strap or band or towel, whatever you have. So go ahead and lay down nice and flat. I'm going to take that band, wrap it around. Let's go right foot first. So just around the bottom of the right foot, and we're going to lay back. So left leg is nice and straight. You want to keep this left hip grounded on the floor, and you can keep both sides of the towel, the strap in each hand, or you can bring them into one hand, trying to relax this leg, straighten that leg into the ceiling, but then also pulling it a little bit closer to the face. And a couple ways you could do this is with a couple breaths. You're going to pull that foot closer to the face, and then you're going to exhale, release, let it go. Inhale, pull it a little closer to the face. So kind of working your way in, just like we did with the flossing of the shoulders, slowly giving it a little bit of tension, letting it release. And then as it starts to open up, you should start to feel that foot kind of get a little bit closer and a little closer. So if you're someone with tight hamstrings, this would be a really good stretch for you. Maybe if you're doing a lot of running right now at home, this would be a really great stretch. Awesome. From there, he is going to grab both sides of that strap with his right hand. Good. You might need to scoot a little bit this way, we'll see, but he's going to let that right leg fall out and open to the right side. And this is actually a perfect spot to be if you want to rest your foot against the wall, finding a distance that allows that you just still get a stretch, but maybe you're not holding as much tension if you have something to relax onto. So you could put a little box or blocks underneath that foot to let it hang out on. Your left hand can come to the top of your left hip just to make sure that doesn't come off the ground as we do this stretch. You're pretty flexible there. We'll hang out here for a couple seconds. Again, feel free to stay however long feels good for you. But we'll start to bring that foot back up to the center, and we're going to switch hands. So he's going to grab the band with the left hand, and now he's going to let that foot fall over to the left side, so across the body. Yeah, and it's okay that you're going to roll onto one hip here. I'll let you guys see what he's doing. Because now he's getting a little bit of a stretch in the lower back, in that hip. He's kind of just letting it fall nice and relaxed to the floor. Does that feel good? Mm-hmm. If you have a friend or maybe a kid at home that you can use, they can put a little pressure on the shoulder to try to get that stretch across the body as well. Just do it with someone you trust so they don't just lay all their weight straight into you. Good, and now he's actually got his foot relaxed on the ground, so he can even hang out there a little longer. Don't feel like you have to force yourself into any of these poses. It should be nice and steady, nice and relaxed coming into them. So we'll go ahead and bring that foot back up to the center. And from here, we're gonna do one last thing before we switch sides. He's gonna bend that knee and start to use, you can grab it with the right hand and the left here, trying to bring that knee to the outside, almost like towards the right armpit. Yeah, there you go. Using that towel to pull that foot. So almost like that foot is standing on the ceiling. We call this half happy baby pose. Good. And if you want to grab it with the right hand up close to the foot, that way you can kind of relax the shoulders down into the ground. Yeah, there you go. And you'll stay there however long you would like. So we'll go ahead and switch sides, but feel free to hold these longer. So he's going to stretch the band around the left foot now, starting with that hamstring stretch straight into the ceiling, coming through that flossing again. So taking a couple seconds to pull it closer, then relaxing, pulling it a little closer. You can always keep a slight bend in the knee here if that feels better for you. The more you bend those toes towards the face, you'll get a little bit more of a stretch in the calf as well. And again, you might notice one side is a little bit more tight, maybe a little bit more open than the other side, and that's totally fine. Nobody's exactly perfectly symmetrical, and I'd be weirded out if you were. Want to know what you're doing. So we'll go ahead and open that leg to the left side. So he's going to put both sides of the strap in his left hand. Open up that leg. This time he doesn't have the wall to lean into, but he's going to really try to keep that right hip down on the ground as he lets that left leg relax open. So you should feel this in that inner thigh here on the left leg. Did you do these stretches for your weightlifting? No.
Finish somewhere.
People will be like, what is he doing? Cool, we'll start to bring that foot back to the center. He's gonna switch hands that he's holding onto the strap with, go over to the right side. And this is where he can roll onto that right hip, let the body kind of open up here as he twists. Last stretch here, we'll come back to the center. He's going to grab on with his left hand, bend the knee, pulling that knee to the outside, closer to the left armpit now. Yeah. Half happy baby. And if you want the full challenge, the full stretch here, we'll end with a full happy baby. I'll show you guys a couple ways you can do that. He can bring up his right leg and also put it under the band here. So he can use the band in this happy baby pose. Yeah, opening up the feet, pulling those knees to the outsides of the body. You pretty mobile in this pose?
Yeah.
So other options, he can grab the outer edges. So you can put that strap down. Grab the outer edges of his feet. Same thing, pulling the knees. Yep, there you go. So the arms are going to go inside the knees, but the hands grab the outsides of the feet. So if you can see, his arms are not outside his legs because he wants his knees to move out, have lots of space to come down to the outsides. Other options, you can grab onto the ankles. If you can't quite reach your feet, you can grab the ankles or the shins. If you want to go full yogi, take the peace fingers, grab onto those big toes. Yeah, and you're going to pull those toes down using the biceps. So there's a good hip stretch for you, hamstring stretch, and some shoulder flossing, hopefully opening up those areas of the body for when you come back to the gym. We want to see all your new mobility that you guys have gained. Awesome. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Christian.